Revenge Saturday, #1 Alabama trying to avoid a third straight loss to Mississippi State. Dogs down 5-0. Tyson Lee, Jamel Smith.
A terrific job of putting the ball right on the money, but a great catch by Jamel Smith.
Saban's team down, and with this touchdown by John Parker Wilson, it's Alabama's first offensive touchdown against State since 2004. And it was only after a 2-yard drive. It was set up by a 46-yard punt return by this man, Javier Arenas, who goes 80 here, Lou.
Here he just gets great blocking. Nobody even has a chance to tackle. Great execution. Alabama blocked the punt for touchdown. Punt return set up one, and then
South Carolina into the swamp, and he got swamped. Spurrier, Heisman Trophy winner there, won a national championship there. Chris Smelly early. Oh, he found the wide open linebacker.
Brandon Spikes. That would be an ill-advised pass.
Do you think that pass by Smelly was smelly? This one was downright stinky. Tipped and picked by Ahmad Black. His 6th interception of the season would result in a Florida touchdown. So the ensuing kickoff, the next thing you want to do is start throwing the ball around the field, Lou.
well, you want to try to make something happen, make a play, but you got to be able to execute it.
Lou, would you make a play like this? Would you call this play?
Well, if you need momentum, I can't question.
You
Steve
never
Spurrier.
call that play
I
if you're a
cannot
head coach.
question Steve Spurrier.
And just because you're a brilliant coach doesn't mean you have an error in judgment from time to time. Percy Harvin, 80-yard touchdown run, longest of his career. 167 yards for the Gator speedster, and Spurrier was going to take a beating like he never has before. 42-6, and Urban was laying it on, Lou.
Well, he did, but what a great catch. This is unbelievable.
Aaron Hernandez, the tight end.
What a terrific job. The big guy from Bristol, Connecticut, leaches out one-handed right there, brings it in for the touchdown reception.
Where's Bristol? The Texas Longhorns. Colt McCoy and the Horns in Lawrence to take on the Jayhawks. Second quarter. Colt, watch Colt direct some traffic here. Mayday. Fozzie Whitaker said, throw it to me, Colt. I'll score. He said, no.
That's a terrific job. All you do is you find a defender, point him out, you turn around and block him, and he does that. Colt McCoy just orchestrates this offense magnificently.
14-0 trickeration for Mac.
Oh, I love this. Jordan Slippy over the top. Hey, you know, maybe he could call Rick Barnes, the basketball coach. He's got some hops there.
He did get up and
Wow.
a little length on the jump, too. The Texas drive would continue, and Chris Obaniah would finish it.
Well, here's just a great run. And this is the thing at Texas. When Texas can run the football well, they are very, very good.
This is the catch of the year. Not many highlights for Kansas, but you won't find a better one than the catch by Desmond Briscoe.
Oh, that was sweet. That's one of the better
Look
catches.
at this.
You know, that could make Mayday's top 5 tomorrow.
I think it should. If it doesn't, there should be some type of investigation. Kansas would score after that. It would be the only touchdown they get. Texas getting its 8th straight 10-win season. That is the second longest of all time, tied for the second longest streak. McCoy accounted for 3 touchdowns, 87-13. But Toby Gerhart went over 100 yards rushing on the day, Mark.
Does a phenomenal job right here, shredding blockers, running, getting the ball 40 yards. What a terrific run. He had over 920 yards coming into this game.
That would set up a Stanford touchdown. Cardinal up 7, but then in a matter of seconds, C.J. Gable, CJTD, 93 yards.
Oh, just outstanding. Usually when you get a good punt or kickoff return, you'll find the ball carrier has to beat a tackler. He beat 2 head on head.
That locks the game back up at 17. Stephon Johnson's going to go 7 yards. Got a great block from Stanley Havili, the fullback. That guy's going to play forever in the NFL. He can catch, he can do everything. Here goes Gable again. 24-7. Everybody's hurdling. Pretty soon these defenders are going to stand up, and it's not going to be pretty.
Yep.
I'm going to wish they hadn't done that. There goes Gable, 31-17. Now with 3 seconds left, SC had blown it out to 45-17, and Harbaugh sends out the field goal unit.
Why?
I don't know. He wanted some more points, so Carroll calls a timeout to ice him. In the meantime, Harbaugh decides, let's try to score another touchdown. Alex Lucas, Austin Gunder, and he does. The final play of the game. Meaningless touchdown to some, meaningful to others.
I don't think they're going to swap Christmas cards this year.
No, there's been some testiness between Carroll and automatic bid to the BCS and going to the Rose Bowl at least. That honor belongs to Oregon State against Cal. Cal had gone up 7-0, ensuing kickoff. There goes James Rogers. Not Jack Quiz, it's big brother James going to the house.
But James doesn't have a J on the back of his jersey. All he has is Rogers. The little brother has the J Rogers on the back of his jersey.
He's got TD beside his name in the box score to tie it at 7. And here is Quiz, Pac-10's leading rusher, only guy averaging over 100 yards per game.
It's a freshman.
Been a terrific freshman for them, as USC well knows. It's now 17-7. Kevin Riley, kid from Beaverton, Oregon. A quick pass to Jeremy Ross, who finds Nyam Boateng, the Florida transfer. Cal back in at 17-14, 20-14. Here goes James Rogers, a staple of the Oregon State offense, that fly sweep.
Oh, what a job right here. Stops on a dime and picks it up. Doesn't go out of bounds, but what a terrific job of taking that back into the end zone.
34-20. Get there with a little bit of help from the Big Ten as Ohio State. There's the Illabuck Trophy. It goes to the winner. That turtle's not live.
You sure?
It once was, but unfortunately for the turtle, it expired, so they gave a replica turtle. Juice Williams puts it on the ground, led to a Buckeye touchdown. Malcolm Jacobs, look at him storming there, blocked the punt for a safety, 9-7 Buckeyes. And Terrell Pryor-Lou would find Dane Sanzenbacher, and Sanzenbacher would turn it upfield.
Well, he does a great throw here. The defender tried to come underneath for the interception, mistimed it, turned into a touchdown.
23-7, now 23-13. Here goes Beanie. Beanie had 143 and an up and over Yamobi there.
Oh, Reese, for the love of elevation.
Linda Cohn has copyright to that. We're going to owe her some cash. 30-20, Buckeyes over Illinois. Indiana and Penn State. Joe still with the ailing hip and leg upstairs against Indiana. Darrell Clark puts it on the ground. Clark struggled a little bit of late. And scuffling around, turns the ball over, and Penn State was pretty pedestrian for a while. Clark would find Derek Williams. It had been 11 quarters since he'd thrown a touchdown pass. He gets one to put Penn State up 7-0. Indiana trying to punt from the back of its own end zone, saw a lot of special teams miscues and great plays on the day. The block would lead to a Penn State field goal, 3-point lead at the half, and then Evan Royster would make a tough run. Here he goes. Cut back against the grain. Spinning in, Penn State, 34. Irish last year, much to the chagrin of Charlie Chuckles Weiss, who's calling the plays for the Fighting Irish, and his special teams dialed up a block punt in the early going. Torian Smith, after Mike Anello had blocked it, Smith goes in for the score. He drew the excessive celebration flag with the Irish up 7-0. Tied at 7, Jimmy Clausen scrambling. He got crunched. Oh. Leave the game for a play. Irish kicked a field goal, took a 10-7 lead at the half. And Notre Dame had 3 players rush between 60 and 80 yards, and one of them, Rolando Allen.
Well, they just controlled the line of scrimmage. They're running the football. They're going to go in. They're on the 5-yard line. It's going to be 34-7.
It's not there yet, but it was 24-7 after Robert Hughes scored. And you're right, they were going in to make it 34-7. They fumbled. Navy scored. And then here comes Navy with an onside kick at 27-14. Now, look, they're just less than 2 minutes to go in the game. A flag on Notre Dame. They're called for illegally batting the ball. Robbie Paris did it, so Navy gets another opportunity on the re-kick. Corey Johnson comes up with the ball for Navy, and the midshipman mark completed only 3 passes on the first play. One of the 3, Ricky Dobbs to Tyree Barnes.
And this is a terrific job by Tyree Barnes. He's got to keep his eye on the ball, stretch up for this, and he does get his foot inbounds for the reception.
For the reception, but not the touchdown. Look at that. Got the toe down. You can see green. Good call by the official. Replay did a nice job. Navy scored to make it 27-21. Nobody can get another onside. Yeah!
But this one is perfectly executed.
Got a good bounce.
Corey Johnson again, the man on the spot. And with less than a minute, Navy once down 27-7 with 5 minutes to go. A chance to win it. Oh, the normally sure-handed Shun White couldn't haul it in from Dobbs. Now 4th and 13. Last chance. Not close. You want to talk about breathing a sigh of relief. Notre Dame did just that. They were a few yards away from going up 34-7, making it a complete blowout. To the BCS. The Utes taking on San Diego State, a team that almost beat Notre Dame but has been pretty much hapless for the rest of the season. Brian Johnson, Freddie Brown. Utes up 14-0. Johnson would find David Reed to make it 21.
Nice job by Brian Johnson of staying in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket, and finding this wide open wide receiver for the score.
Utah not finished as they're getting set to take on BYU for the Beehive boot. Right down the middle to Brent Castile for the catch. Into Aztec territory, and then Johnson would find Reed, second touchdown reception of the game. Utes up 35-7. At that point, it was still in the first half. They would finish it 63-14. Aztecs are 1-10. Boise State and Idaho, and you just don't walk into the Kibbie Dome, Moscow, and expect to stroll out with a victory against Mark Schlereth's alma mater, the Fighting Stinks, we call the Vandals. And fighting is exactly what Daniel Hardy did. He's tackled. This is the first play from scrimmage, except he wasn't tackled.
Now, if you'll notice, you have to be on the ground, and if you're on top of a defender who's on the ground, that's not a tackle.
Hardy takes it 81 yards, and the Vandals are up 7-0. Third quarter, Boise State up 17-10. Jeremy Avery.
Nice job of rock and roll by Avery here. He's going to kick it to the left, then he's going to turn it up the field, and he's going to go 56 yards for the score.
He rushed for a career-high 156 yards, couple of touchdowns. Boise State wins it 45-10. They're now Kansas, having already lost to Texas earlier in the day. All Chase Daniel and Missouri had to do was beat Iowa State, and they'd have a spot in the Big 12 championship game. Austin Arnaud picked off by William Moore, and Tigers are up 21-0 and rolling. Chase Daniel, Jeremy Maclin, Mayday.
Jeremy Maclin's been phenomenal all season long, but look at the speed and the gait on him. If you get him in the open field like this, no one's going to even get close to him.
Tigers going to Kansas City, 52-20. Daniel throwing for 328, couple of touchdowns. They win the Big 12 North. Oklahoma State and Colorado's Chauncey Billups watching his former school Buffs take on the Cowboys. Cowboys up 6-0. Look, Zach Robinson, there's some confusion. Had to call a timeout. Now, what's going on? Look at this. Somebody in the stands. Oh, those tricky Buff students. The Fowler called him that. Using the pen laser from the stands. Next play after the timeout, Des Bryant. You know, Des Bryant hadn't scored a touchdown receiving on the road until then. Now he has. 30-17. Oklahoma State beats Colorado. They are now 9-2. Back to the SEC. Georgia and Auburn, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Tigers had to beat either Georgia or Alabama to become bowl eligible. Dogs down 6-0. No Sean Marino, a little dump for Matthew Stafford.
What a great effort. Look, that is the most underrated football player in the country. Each week he gets his yards, he makes great plays, but you doesn't recognize it.
Mario Fannin had a great day. Tigers have been saying they were going to get him the ball more often. They did that in this game. Auburn regains the lead in the fourth quarter, 13-10. But Georgia comes back down the field at light speed, and Stafford throws a dart to the freshman A.J. Green. 17-13 Dogs. 4th and 1, 7 seconds left. Cody Burns trying to save Auburn, heaving it for Ben Tate. Out of bounds. Hey, Georgia was fortunate. They could have called pass interference against the Dogs in the previous play, but they escaped Jordan Hare. 17-13. The Mad Hatter. And Les Miles, after a heartbreaking loss to Alabama, taking on Troy. Troy up 24-3. Could it be 2 straight teams in the state of Alabama putting it on LSU as DeJuan Harris goes in?
And everybody left the game. There was nobody in the stands.
LSU fans, they'll bail out if their team's getting whipped. That'll happen. Yeah, I've seen it many times before, but what they missed was a great comeback. Jarrett Lee, Brandon LaFell, Quinn Johnson. Now it's 31-24, and look at all the time on the clock. It's 31-27, and Troy is starting to implode. Jorrick Calvin, oh, it hits him. LSU's all over it. McCray recovers it, and Charles Scott will put the Bayou Bengals up, Mayday.
Charles Scott, such a powerful warrior. Fouls his fullback here, goes into the end zone for the score.
LSU once down 31-3 up, and still with a chance to get more. Here goes Scott again.
Powering the fullback again.
How about 30 points in the fourth quarter? And LSU finds a way to pull one out of their hat.
Our young men have great character. Have a nice day.
For great LSU. Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Vanderbilt 0 for its last 17 when trying to become bowl eligible. Just needed a win in Lexington. Chris Nixon to DJ Moore. Cornerback by trade. Wide receiver there. It's 14-0 now. Brian Honfeld picked up by David Jones, and Kentucky's getting back in it, Lou.
I just really thought it'd get the momentum. At this stage, Vanderbilt has 200 yards total offense to Kentucky's 30.
1982, the last time the Doors went to a bowl. Jared Hawkins putting it away, and defensive. Vanderbilt's going to make it under any circumstance. Minnesota and Wisconsin playing for Paul Bunyan's Axe, 24-17. This was a great finish. Dustin Sherrod, Isaac Anderson.
Oh, just a great throw down here. That's unusual because Wisconsin's strength, the ability to run the football.
E.J. Hill would eventually punch it in. Ensuing kickoff, Troy Stoudemire fumbles, gets knocked around, and knocked out of the back of the end zone. This is a nominee for the Pontiac game-changing performance. It gave the Badgers a 2-point lead. Next possession, how about back-to-back safeties, Mayday?
Mike Newkirk comes in and gets the sack right here. Great job. Tremendous pressure by that Wisconsin defense.
28-24 off of Minnesota. Fumbled John Clay. And 5 yards out. 35-24, but Minnesota would not go away. Weber to Shady Salomon. Oh, he's the real Shady.
And Minnesota played without the leading receiver in the Big Ten, Decker.
Eric Decker has been banged up, had a terrific season for Tim Brewster's team. Weber's picked off by Niles Brinkley, and Badgers in the fight to make it to the championship game. In fact, BC controlled its destiny. Easy for me to say. They also controlled the interception. Marty Bowman, 87 yards he'd go.
No, it was a easy pick. You don't think he's going to run that far, but he got very good blocking. Set the tempo for the game.
The 24-10 game. Remember, Florida State playing with 5 wide receivers suspended. Fortunately for them, Preston Parker was not one of them, and neither was Greg Carr. Parker on the end around threw it. Carr caught it, 24-17. But Mayday, what's BC's defensive specialty?
They intercept balls. They came in the game tied for the lead the country with 18.
And they got another one there. Ponder threw 3 on the night. Boston College was 27-17. North Carolina and Maryland. Carolina, Cameron Sexton. I'm not sure he was throwing for old Cooter Arnold, but it's a good day when somebody named Cooter gets in the end zone.
Go, Cooter, go. Go, Cooter, go.
Tar Heels up 12-7. They'd go into the half leading 15-14. Here's a Pontiac game-changing nominee, Napoleon Dynamite. Vote for Pedro. Chris Turner on a 4th and 5 gets the first down. Same drive. Obi Egekeza, 26 yards. Terps, 17-15. 56 seconds left. 3rd and 22. Sexton. A lot of red jerseys back there. One of them belonging to Jamari McCullough, and Maryland does it again at home, 17-15. ACC still being turned upside down. Now, NC State's probably out of it, although you can't tell in this conference. Wake, great shot to go to the title game until Russell Wilson finds Anthony Hill.
Boy, they're a different football team, NC State, when Russell Wilson's a quarterback. He can run and throw. He just makes things happen.
21-17. The same could be said for Riley Skinner. Dropped the snap, picked it up, ran 12 yards. First down, Wake Forest. Later in the drive, he's got Marshall Williams, Lou, wide open.
Oh, this is heartbreaking. This is the type you can't sleep when you look at it over and over. That close.
After that, Wake couldn't convert. Another of the revenge games, Rutgers in South Florida. Schiano's team knocked off South Florida last year when the Bulls were ranked number 2, but instead South Florida would get some more and like it. Matt Grothe picked off by Jason McCourty. 30 yards, he'd house it, and the Scarlet Knights up 14-3. 4th quarter, boy, who's turned around his season better than Rutgers? Mike Teal, Kenny Britt, end to end. 93 yards, Britt at 173 yards receiving. Teal 294 passing. 49-16 South Florida face planting right and left. Arizona and Oregon, a wild shootout. Bellatti's team built a huge lead only to see Zona come roaring back. Keola Antolin, 1-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good, and it was down to 48-38. Antolin still in the 4th, goes in again, and all of a sudden, Arizona on the road within 3, but they couldn't get the stop. LeGarrette Blount just continues to light it up for the Ducks in the new uniforms, in the lightning yellow shoes, 55-45. Battling Conference USA West, you know these teams can score. Tulsa and Houston, Case Keenum, Tyron Carrier. Houston up 7-0. Lou, you and I saw this team not play well against Marshall, but an explosive offense.
Saw them lose to Marshall at Marshall.
We did. They played very poorly, but they played brilliantly against Tulsa. Keenum deep to Carrier, 66 yards. Cougars up 28-10. 22 seconds left, still in the first half. It's 35-17. Carrier's going to go 93 yards. Houston puts 70 on them, 70-30. Could have been worse. Houston once beat Tulsa 100-6.
Air Force flying high. The Academy's won 5 straight. Bronco Mendenhall, 17th ranked BYU Cougars on their radar on Saturday. Not hard to see this guy. Fui Vakapuna. He's a big one. 253 pounds worth. BYU up 7-0. Third quarter, Air Force down 17-14. BYU kicking, Reggie Rembert fumbling. BYU recovers, leads to a Cougars touchdown. They're up 10. Fourth quarter, Hall 27-36, 352 yards. Austin Coley. BYU wins it 38-24, keeping their conference title hopes alive. How about Northwestern and Michigan? A season to forget for Michigan got worse on Saturday. Early fourth, Northwestern leading by 7. C.J. Bashea picked off by Donovan Warren. He's taking it back to the house. So things looking good for Michigan, right? We'll bring it back. This is what happened. Take another look. The ref said he was out of bounds. It looks like they missed their call. Michigan will fail to score on the drive. That kind of season for the Wolverines. Less than 90 seconds to go. Last chance for the Wolverines. Nick Sheridan's pass incomplete. Michigan's 8th loss, most in a single season.